Through the first 3 weeks of the NFL season, new Seahawks quarterback Sam Darnold is not top 15. He's not top 10. He's not top 5. But the number 1 rated quarterback by Pro Football Focus with a bullet, I tell you. And while there are some out there that would say that they don't give a lot of weight to the Pro Football Focus grades, understandable, because they can get a little weird at times. They can get a little out of pocket at times. They can seem to not mesh up with the film at times. I think all Seahawks fans would have to nod and acknowledge that Sam Darnold is off to one hell of a stellar start here in his Seattle Seahawks career. And that there's a lot of reason to believe that these beautiful beginnings that he has had are going to be sustainable as we go through this year, maybe even improve further as we go along. Can't forget the fact that there wasn't a lot of this fan base that had a tremendous amount of faith in Sam when he came to Seattle on that free agent signing. And you almost feel like, by the way, some fans talked about, we were going to be going from GPS back to the paper map system. And look, Geno Smith is a very good quarterback. He's actually, despite that tough game he had about a week and a half ago, he still is performing pretty well for the Raiders in a very tough environment. But many people made you think that you were going to take this monstrous step back with Sam Darnold, that you were going to fall off a cliff now that you had moved on from Geno, which was ironic because it was the same thing that many of these same fans were saying about Russell Wilson when you moved on from him in lieu of Geno Smith a couple of years prior. And much like that situation, the front office is being proven true in their approach on this one. And I know, again, it is a little bit of a sample size, but would you not expect that a new quarterback to a new team like this, undertaking a new offense, would be in his roughest shape at the start of the year, not the end of the year, not the midpoint of the year? I would, especially for a vet quarterback like this who has a pretty good understanding already of this offense walking in general, who's been through a couple of offenses already, who's had already on board different styles of offenses in different places. It's going to speed the process up. All the more reason, though, to believe that this is not going to be a short sample size that's suddenly going to see Sam fall into that trap that so many Seahawks fans thought he would, which is to revert back to the New York Jets days. I have been banging on this drum for many months. I was banging on this drum with Geno Smith before he became a starter in Seattle as he was taking back over for Russell. And that is that you cannot undersell a quarterback that is hungry and very talented. You cannot undersell a quarterback who's had time in the sport to grow and mature and get smarter and understand defenses better and learn little tricks of the trade that just make them a little bit better player more and more as the year goes along. And then you have that one extra aspect of this that's just another wonderful fact, which is that Sam's 28 years old. He is just moving into his physical prime right now. You're going to get the best version of this guy this year and into the near future. And that would seem to bode very well for the Seattle Seahawks team as you're trying to bring together the other parts and pieces of this team together. But the quarterback is the big one here, because if Sam doesn't work out, if Jalen Milroe is not ready to go, you have a Seattle Seahawks team moving into next offseason trying to scramble to find an answer at the position. Well, there will be no scrambling now. He is capable, competent, calm, poised in the pocket, executing this offense on time to the right player in the right spot. There's a throw he's got to make into a tight space. He knows how to put the ball out away from a receiver's body, away from where he's going to take the hit. He's doing a lot of very smart things for the position that aren't always easily trackable when it comes to statistics. Now, all the other statistics you want to look at, from the EPA to the quarterback rating to his average per attempt to how he's performing on third downs, all of these other aspects outside of just, say, that PFF score are also looking mighty nice. So Sam is getting it done in every which way that you could ask for, and getting it done as well in an environment where you don't really have a consistent running game through 3 games. The pass protection has probably been a little bit more closer to middle of the road, especially when you consider how good a job Sam is doing at getting the ball out of his hand. Top 10 in time to throw as far as on the good side of that versus being on the bad side of that, as we have in recent years, going back for almost 10 years at the position there. So these are very good early indicators for Sam Darnold, but also I think a very good indicator for where we're going to be going with him at the position in the future. I don't think he's going to stay at number 1 through the NFL through the rest of the season, but that he started out like this, where there's so many parts around him he's still trying to figure out on the fly, and the team's trying to figure out, and your offensive coordinator is trying to figure out. Well, I just think that the future looks very bright for Sam Darnold in Seattle. So have some faith, Seahawks fans, if you haven't already. If you're slow to get on board here with Sam, you better do so quick, because this train is leaving the station and it's getting packed.